to back out and go back in real quick. Oh, we are live. Let me play the intro. Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am your host, Ryan Gilbert. Joining me, as usual, is my co-host, Joel Meyer. How are we doing tonight? Another Friday show, Joel. How we doing?
Doing all right. Survived another week. I'm not sure if we're going to survive this Red Blacks cover, though. It's a pretty bleak first half. A couple terrible special teams plays by the Ottawa Red Blacks. Currently losing to the Edmonton Elks 20-7, so that's not bueno. Other than that, doing pretty well. Just, when I watch shows, or rather when I watch films, I typically attack them by theme or if it's by the same director. So I'll watch a bunch of shows by Scorsese or Lars von Trier, as I mentioned on the last show. And now I'm on a submarine kick after watching Das Boot. So I'm gobbling all that up. Apparently there's a Das Boot series, so that's what I'm currently on. But yeah, there's plenty of good submarine shows out there. Not as many as you'd like, but enough to keep me sated for now, at least. That was good. It's still time to catch up. But of course, there's no catching up tomorrow because we've got real football back. We got 4-down football back in the week 0 of college football. Excited for that. And parallel with CFL. Just a couple good games there as well on Saturday. And European football too. Not just the English Premier League, but we got the I think the Spanish play, but more importantly, the Germans play.
The
Italians play.
Bundesliga was back.
Yes,
I saw.
Yes, 6-0 by Bayern. Business as usual in the Bund. And Chelsea I saw killed West Ham. So a couple high-scoring games there in the across the pond. But sports are slowly coming back.
Not a good start for my Hammers there against Chelsea. If that's the team I'm supporting in West Ham.
I thought you were Arsenal.
So here's the thing with the English, with the EPL. Like, how do fans of teams that aren't in like the Big Five care? Because I was looking at the odds. It's like Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, and then Tottenham are like around 10-1 or shorter, and everyone else is like so much longer. And I understand there's so many other tournaments, and it's not all about winning the championship like it is in America. But it just seems like, as an outsider, if there's a league where I'm going to have two teams, it might be the EPL.
Understandable, I guess. Well, I mean, most of the times when you're a real fan, it's where you live. And
I'm not a real fan. I don't live over there, so I can't be a real fan.
Yeah, so typically when you're not a real fan, you're either a hipster or you're a bandwagoner. So there's no real good options.
It's a lose-lose situation. Like unless you live where they are and grew up there, it's like, oh, why you're a fan of them? You're like when people assume you're an Avs fan, people probably assume, all right, he grew up in the late 90s when they won other cups, which is true, but that's not why you love them.
No, I was watching them on my black and white TV there in 95, 96 and playing with the Quebec Nordiques and Joe Sakic in NHL 93, 94. So those are that was the genesis of my Avalanche fandom, but it's even truer in football, or European football rather. Because you find fans all over the place of different teams in professional sports in North America, but in Europe, unless you're one of the massive clubs, then typically you just support the local team, which is probably the healthy way of doing it. But I'm excited for you to find out. I mean, the typical recommendation is just to watch the games, and eventually your team will call to you. Like it's kind of like it's the one, to put it in romantic terms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I do still play some sports video games, and NHL is usually my game of choice. But NHL has been shit. I know EA FC now, or whatever it's called, is apparently pretty good this year. So maybe I'll get into that.
They got rid of the FIFA series?
Well, FIFA got renamed EAFC. I think there was some sort of name partnership didn't So that changed a few years ago. I was surprised as well. Catfish here in the chat. Catfish joined us on Wednesday. I'm not put that out yet. He said we have MLS here, Ryan. Yeah, that's like me going over to England and being like, oh, let's go watch the hockey. Let's go watch the what is the AIHL or EIHL or whatever it is. Like
I couldn't even tell you the English.
It's like MLS is like 5th or 6th here. It might even be behind WNBA at this point. Like it's just like it's. If you're a fan, you're very localized. They have great fan supporters. I support you fully, but I can't get on board with the MLS there. So yeah, we'll figure it out once I move over there. And you brought up Joe Sakic. Reminded me of I saw a quote from Peter Forsberg. I think today that he couldn't play today's game because you can't have beer and you can't eat pasta. That's why he couldn't play in today's.
Said that about Sakic?
No, he said that about just why he couldn't play in today's NHL.
Oh, okay. It's just about himself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I can't imagine they have a bad relationship, do they?
No.
Okay.
That seems like more of a Sakic thing, though. Beer and pizza. But Forsberg, actually, he's always been a kind of laid back guy, so I guess so. And he has that. He's always been a strong player too. So yeah, beer and pizza that fits Forsberg, yes.
Yeah. Forsberg, came back to Philly after the trade, played on like 1.5 feet there, and had a good year. So everyone loves Peter Forsberg there. All right, make sure you check out the Sports Gambling Podcast giving away a $1,000 circa NFL future bet with their phrase that pays. You can submit your phrase now at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/phrase. You got CFL going on. You got the college football opener in Dublin tomorrow. Is that like a new thing? They're just doing that every year?
I'm not sure when it started exactly, but certainly the last few years.
Yeah, I remember last year. I'm not sure if that was the first one, but I know there's one.
No, it wasn't the first one. A couple years ago, at least.
Okay, all right, yeah. So that's a thing. So yeah, football's back now. So even fewer people are paying attention to hockey. Like in the dead of summer, you're like, all right, let's look at all these different futures. But when there's actual real action going on, hockey just takes a complete backseat.
Right, and yeah, in Canada too, like people are excited for football, so it's always like the first 2 weeks of college football. Oh yeah, we're going to really follow college football now. But as soon as the NFL comes along, it's just like the interest fades.
Yeah, it's like how people are like, oh, it's the off season. I could go for like a Blackhawks Sharks game I would watch right now. And then the season comes around and you're like, there's a game on. I'm not gonna watch it though. It's whatever. Like it's just like when you don't have it, you want it. And when you have it, you're like, all right, I'm just gonna watch the best.
Exactly. For myself too, like the first few weeks of European football is when I pay the most attention. I'm most willing to wake up at 6, 7 in the morning on a weekend. But once the native football comes along, then it certainly goes down the priority list.
Yeah, especially tough for you out there on the West Coast.
It'd be a lot easier if I was in the East Coast.
Okay, make sure you check out all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on YouTube. Leave us a comment there, like the video. Apple Podcasts, of course. Joel has just been bombarding me all week long. He's like, Ryan, if we don't get a review soon, I might have to leave up and quit. Like we already had one host quit. We can't have a second host quit now, guys. So get a 5-star rating and review in there on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well, if that's what you listen to.
You know me, I'm a big fan of subscribing, rating, and reviewing.
Yeah, that's you have a tattoo of that on your butt, on your ass,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
That's what you got there. Let's get straight into things here. We got 3 teams to get through, but yeah, if you haven't checked out the other episodes, make sure you check them out. We're going through every team here in reverse standing order. So that means next up is the New York Islanders, who last season, if my mouse would cooperate, they went 35-35-12, 82 points. The only team to finish hockey 500 there, 500 point percentage, which is just very, very typical for the Isles. They're like, all right, they'll get some overtime points. They'll win some games. They'll lose some games, and they'll be just right there around 500, which is what they were last year.
Look at that. Red Blacks touchdown. We're back in the game. You lasted like what, 20 seconds there? That might be longer than.
Oh no! Well, I realized the past few shows when we have guests, it throws me off, and we've gotten away from all right. Look at last season. Look at the off season. Look at the next season. So I'm setting you up for the off season of the
I got you.
or last
Yeah.
season for the Islanders.
Yes, last season. Well, you said it. I mean, that is very typical of the Islanders to just finish hockey 500. This has been, just middle of the line team for many years now. Pretty much the whole Lou Emerald era, at least in the regular season. They've had some postseason success for sure. A while back now, but they do have that to their credit. But yeah, last season, just miserable special teams. Finished second worst in penalty killing. I was expecting to see that at the worst when I looked at that today, but somehow the Ducks had a worse penalty kill or rather power play than the Islanders. Because there's a stretch they didn't score a single power play goal between like Christmas and Valentine's Day.
Yeah, until they played the Flyers, they had a huge.
That's right when I said it too.
And they scored two power play goals that game. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they were due. So just absolutely miserable in the power play.
Penalty kill too. Penalty kill, they were second worst.
Maybe that's what I was looking. No, I was definitely looking at power plays.
They were second worst in both.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Just awful.
So special teams.
Yeah,
miserable there, and goaltending too. Like Sorokin, another down year. He thought he'd bounce back last year. He didn't this year, and we'll see if that changes. I'm sure it will at some point. He's too good not to, and he didn't get any support defensively. Certainly, the strength of this team was their defense for many years. Certainly under Barry Trotz, and to a lesser extent, Lane Lambert. Patrick Roy is trying to get this team to play better offensively, which has worked to some extent, but clearly not enough to compensate for their defensive degeneration. So yeah, this team is continually be stuck in the mud, but thankfully they got the number 1 overall pick thanks to the commissioner's office or random luck or however you want to think of it. And so they do get a quality defenseman, Matthew Schaefer, who should make his debut at some point this season. By all accounts, he's a legit prospect. Very good final season there. I can't remember who he played. Like the draft stuff just goes out of my head a week after it ends.
Was he in Erie?
That sounds right.
He was.
I know he's one of the OHL guys, but over 9.5.
One of your counting.
One of the 9. So yeah, it's a tough season there. Off season doesn't look too great. I mean, Jonathan Drouin, he's okay in Colorado, certainly better than he was in Montreal, but he's only getting a 2-year deal, so clearly he's not a proven commodity at this point. Just continuing to get these 1-2-year deals. So yeah, losing Noah Dobson, that was the big one. That's a massive blow. He was their best defenseman certainly 2 years ago. He took a step back last year like the rest of the defense. I see Alexander Romanov, they got him to an 8-year deal. That's a good one. I don't see the number, but I'm sure it's okay. And yeah, Lou Emerald is not making the deals anymore, so I'm sure it was just fine.
Yeah, and 6.25. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal for him.
I agree. Oh, we got Tony DeAngelo. I see. I forgot about that. He's back in New York. Yeah, off season, like most of these teams, there's no action in the off season really, so it's hard to make too many comments about it. But yeah, that's the Islanders.
Yeah, their off season here. Key addition: Jonathan Drouin, you mentioned, Maxim Shabanov, the KHL free agent. Flyers were rumored to get him for a bit. He was like second or third.
The Flyers are rumored to get every Russian.
Well, so sometimes they're Emil Heineman, Matthew Highmore, Ethan Bear, and then Big Save Dave. I think they still have Varley there, so I'm not sure if they're going to be.
He's been very hurt lately.
Yeah, he's 37. He'll probably just go on LTIR. So you got Big Save Dave. He's a pretty solid backup there as well. But yeah, they traded away Noah Dobson for futures. Lost Cal Clutterbuck and Matt Martin. Say what you will, those are 2 huge guys in the locker room for culture there. I think that could be a big downgrade.
Brock Nelson at the trade deadline.
Brock Nelson, they got rid of for who did they even get for him? Was it just like picks?
It was a first-round pick and a prospect. I can't remember who was a French-Canadian guy, I think is.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
or Callum Ritchie. Callum Ritchie, that's who it was.
Yeah, Callum Ritchie was. Yeah, but a good trade for them, I think, but good for the future. Like Matthew Darsh, he's been great here in his first few months. I mean, Lamorella made that deal, but like they're great for the future. They got Schaefer. They traded Dobson for those 2 picks to get Aitchison and Eklund. Like they're great for the future, but coming into this season, I'm not sure what exactly you can expect from them.
Big picture wise, I really agree with these moves, like trading Dobson, trading Brock Nelson. So they're finally getting on the right track that way. Lou kept them treading water, but clearly this is not a team that was going to win the cup. I gave up betting them to do that a few years ago. But so finally they make the right moves and plan for the future instead of just treading water, like I said.
I think they really should have traded Barzal and gotten Hagens and something else. Like he's locked up for the foreseeable future until at least 2031, $9 million there, but he's just going to get worse and worse, I think, as he ages.
He's not that old.
He's 28, and like they're going to be what? Like Schaefer will hit his prime in 4 years, Aitchison, Eklund 3 years. Like he'll be a good veteran piece, but he can't be like one of the top few players there.
I'd rather trade Bo Horvat if there's a similar deal out there. Obviously, if he won't return as much, but I would rather keep Barzal. They got to be somewhat competitive. You can't just trade everybody.
I mean, there's different ways to rebuild, but I think the Islanders are in a position where maybe they should have, if they made just one more trade for futures and got like another, if they got Hagens on top of Schaefer and Aitchison and Eklund, like that's an amazing draft class. Is going to be in the NHL 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, then again, you need veterans there to kind of right the ship, keep it going there, keep it going on track. So that does bring us to this next season. We have the point total for the Islanders is at 83.5, right there around 500. To make the playoffs is plus 240. Win the division 30-1. Stanley Cup is 150-1. I'm not sure if there's any real strong bets here on the Islanders whatsoever. I'm trying to figure out what my best bet might be. It might just be the under points because missed playoffs has to be like minus 300, which is a lot to lay. But like if I put 5 units on that, you win 1 point something. I feel like that. I just don't think they're making the playoffs over the Canes, Devils, and then the rest of the Metro.
No, it's certainly not. I mean, maybe not, certainly not, because this team is a bit of a mystery, and I do expect to bounce back from Sorokin. I said it last year, it didn't happen, but maybe this is the year it happens. But like I said, he's just too good to be pedestrian like he has been the past couple of years. So that's the fly in the ointment there. I would certainly take the under before betting the over on points, but this is a team I'm just staying away from because they are still a mystery team to me. And now without Lou looking over Patrick Waugh's shoulder, I think that he'll have a bit more freedom to do what he wants. It's a shame that Archer didn't make the show because I know he has strong thoughts about the Islanders, and he loves the Islanders for some reason. And
why?
I don't know.
Why?
His favorite bet is Patrick Waugh to win the Jack Adams, which conceivably makes sense because they missed the playoffs by margin, and if this team just
he's at 30-1, sure. If they're plus 240 to make the playoffs and the 30-1 to win the division, 30-1 to Jack Adams, okay. Yeah. I guess if you have to have a positive outlook on that, if you're an Islanders fan and want something, because I was trying to think like, okay, Sorokin might have a bounce back year, but he's 15-1 on DraftKings for Vezina, which is just insane to me.
Yeah, I think that those 2 awards would be the way to bet this team in the positive direction, but I think the safe plays are the best with just the under points. I mean, 83.5 is on the low end of the spectrum. Mostly 84.5, I think, is what I've seen, unless the odds have changed in the past few days, or the point is the total has changed in the past few days. So, yeah, I just don't like they're clearly going in that different direction now. And I don't know if actually Patrick Waugh probably is a good coach for a rebuilding team, to be fair. I mean, I'm trying to remember the Avalanche career, though, because his first season, he won the Jack Adams that year, and the Avalanche fucking took the league by storm. Mm-hmm. They got some tremendous goaltending from Varlamov, and Nathan McKinnon won the Calder. But then certainly in the next few years, he did not lead that team in a positive direction. So there's not much to go on there. I just think the under and points is the only bet to make. Although I haven't bet it, so I'm not saying one way or the other. Really, just I'm staying away from this altogether.
Yeah, like this is why I made this thing where we have to make one bet for every team, because this is an easy team. Just like this is a pass team. This is all right. I don't want anything to do with this team. See what happens. But yeah, missed playoffs is minus 320. Under on the points is plus 100. Even money for under 83.5 points. Also want to point out here in the chat, Catfish is saying he thinks 500 will be closer to 90 points than to 83.5. 500 is just 82 points in 82 games. That's what 500 is. I guess if you're going with total wins versus total losses, like I try to do sometimes when we're talking about games, maybe, but no, 500 is just 500 point percentage, which is 1 point per game, which is 82 games, 82 points.
Nothing more to add there. I mean,
right.
Was he talking about where they finished last season?
I don't know. Do you ever know what Dilly's talking about? We barely knew what he was talking about on Wednesday. Now he's in the chat and like we're trying to read hieroglyphics here.
Ad break. Speaking of hieroglyphics.
No, get our best bet and get our ad break. And I have under 83.5, even money, 3 units.
I'll do the same bet, as lame as that is, just for 2 units.
2 units. All right. Yeah, I was going to do 2, but then I saw I had ducked playoffs for 2. I feel like this is a little bit more confident. But yes, we are due for an ad break. Joel just yelling at me about reviews and ad breaks this week. These are brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NHL futures, MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course football. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And of course, make sure you check out Rhythm. They got their NFL's back. Last season, Rhythm was 76-66 against the spread, 22-19 on over-unders. On Tyreek Hill props, he's back. He's not quitting. 13-5, 31% ROI last season. Also have MLB, WNBA, golf, and college football. Get your 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Okay, we do have some clarification here from Dilly in the chat. He's confusing league average points with a 500 record. Okay, that's more understandable than what you were saying before. So I'll take that.
Drink it out of the red stripe, bud.
Yeah. All right, we are moving along here. Not too far. Moving to the New York Rangers, who last season, mighty disappointing season for the Rangers. They definitely went under their point total. Their point total was 100.5. They only got to 85 points. Peter Laviolette was a lame duck coach halfway through the year. He got fired. They traded Trouba during the season. There was stuff going on with Kreider. Panarin had 89 points, but after that, Mika Zibanejad only had 62. I heard he's moving to wing now since they got a JT Miller in there. Miller had 35 points in 32 games, so a decent second half for him there. Adam Fox, though, only 61 points. And Troy just, Igor, or if you're a longtime listener, Igor Shesterkin here. It's really all comes down to him and net. Only a 905 save percentage last season. So Joel, what did you take away from the Rangers last year?
Next thing you know, Dilly's going to be correcting you, saying it's actually Igor.
Igor, yeah. He's gonna put it in the comments, yeah.
So yeah, Rangers last season. The easy parallel, and the parallel that many people have made, is that they are the Eastern version of the Vancouver Canucks, given the way that they underperformed last year, given the way that their special teams were bad. Although I think our special teams are actually pretty good, but that was the strength of the Rangers team. They finished bottom 5, I believe, in power play. We've been saying for years now that their 5-5 play was pitiful. They're just been sustained by a power play, and that power play failed them finally, and sure enough, they missed the playoffs by margin.
5th worst power play by the Rangers last year.
Right. But yeah, the culture of the team, that was the main comparison, the main analogous elements of the two teams, with the Canucks culture going to shit, and then the Rangers culture going to shit, having to trade Trouba, Canucks having to trade JT Miller to the very same Rangers. So yeah, they're just massive problems. Both teams underachieving, a lot of the same issues. So it was a dreadful season by them. Adam Fox is another big reason why the power play sucked, is he took yet another step back. Certainly nowhere near the top defenders in the league anymore. And that this team just continues to not impress, no matter what coach it is. Like I've been fading this team for years and years and years, and they usually I usually come out ahead fading this team. And I'm probably going to be doing the same thing here, as we'll mention in a few minutes. But last season, just total underperformance. Special teams with the shit. Shesterkin was still brilliant. He was still one of the better goalies in the league, but he can only do so much. And when JT Miller got traded to them, there was a bit of a bump, but that didn't last long. And they were out of the playoff picture pretty quickly after that. And just a very disappointing season. Ended up firing their coach. Who was it? Who was the coach? Was Laviolette?
Laviolette, yeah.
Yeah.
Catfish zoned out. He said in the chat. You zoned out too, I guess, because I mentioned that.
Right. So off season, what the fuck they did? They brought in Mike Sullivan as the head coach. They lost Chris Kreider. They traded him to the Ducks for, I thought it was a pretty good return, considering he seems to be pretty washed. Especially if you looked at him on the power play, was something that he usually thrived at. It was not the same player, not the same presence there on 5-on-4. What else did they do on the? All
right, their big addition was Vladislav Gavrikov, bringing him in for a long-term deal there. Carey Terrence was the guy in the Kreider trade, along with a pick. Taylor Radish, Justin Dowling, Derek Pouliot, Scott Morrow, not a bunch of guys there, but key subtractions. Kreider, Keandre Miller, they traded to the Hurricanes there. Kaliev, Calvin DeHaan, Zach Jones, Chad Ruhwedel, Louis Domingue, the spicy pork and broccoli, of course. So not a ton of changes there. I think Gavrikov replacing Miller is probably better for their style of play. And you mentioned Shesterkin was one of the best goalies last year. I pointed to save percentage. I said 905, so he wasn't great. But goals saved above expected, 7th most in the league at a 21.6 here on Money Puck. So he was still good. It's just the rest of the team in front of him, including Adam Fox, was pretty bad.
Right. Gavrikov's a nice addition. But losing Keandre Miller is kind of a blow. I know that he's not quite met his potential, but still a decent defender. And Gavrikov, massive upgrade over Trouba, obviously, but losing Keandre Miller as well kind of softens that addition. But
Keandre Miller is going to fit in so well in Carolina. He's going to be so good there, I think.
I agree. After this season, I think is same old story. You talk about me backing the Islanders all the time, but if you go back to the beginning of the show, I'm just fading the Rangers like nonstop. And then once again, we're gonna do so. I haven't made the bet yet myself. I don't think there's any hurry to do so. The 95.5, I think, is still too high, considering this team was dreadful last year. I know the new coach, he's got a lot of pedigree, but he's not working with Sidney Crosby. He's not working with Evgeny Malkin when he still had wheels. Not working with Letang when he still had wheels. And when Marc-Andre Fleury is he still there, or was it Tristan Jarry at that point? Or Matt Murray? I think he won the first cup, right? And then Jarry the second with the Penguins under.
Yeah, I think Fleury was gone by then.
Or he was injured. I remember there was some injury.
Yeah, he was injured for a bit.
Anyway, point is that, it's just certainly an upgrade on those guys regardless. But in terms of the player personality, he's not working with the same crew. And I don't think that's a massive upgrade over Laviolette. I don't think that they'll be as bad as last season. But what did they finish with last year? 83, 84 points.
Yeah, last year they weren't much better than the Islanders. They had 85 points, 39, 36, and 7. A positive goal differential, though. 256,
I noticed
255.
They were the only non-playoff team with a positive goal differential somehow. +1, but still.
Well, Blue Jackets, too. Blue Jackets were +5.
Oh, right, the Blue Jackets. Yeah. But they were almost in the playoffs. They're one game out?
2 points, 2 points.
So, not liking this team at all. Shesterkin should have another good year. But I think his Vezina price is still too low. 7-1 there. I like that you've included that now, so we don't have to look.
Well, now that we have teams that like might actually win these things. And I had some extra time today. I was like, all right, let me put Jack Adams up there. Let me put up Vezina, stuff that we might actually talk about. Because if you're talking positive for the Rangers, like Mike Sullivan for Jack Adams, 22-1. I was just Googling him though, and like he's never been a finalist, so I don't know if the voters have something against him. I don't know if that's working against him, but minus 200 to make playoffs, 550 for the division. If they win the division, I have to imagine Mike Sullivan is up there in the Jack Adams conversation, and that's 3-4 times the price.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just can't see them winning the division.
Oh no, I'm absolutely fading. I'm fading them too. Yeah, they're minus 2. Here's the graphics on the screen, but for the podcast listeners, over under points 95.5. Playoffs is minus 200, plus 160 to miss. To win the division is plus 550, and to win the cup is 30-1. Jack Adams 22-1, Vezina 7-1. So we're both fading them. I don't like any of these three teams here. Spoiler alert for the Red Wings, but like missed playoffs at plus 160, like looking at this lineup, I'll share it on the screen. Like Panarin, Trocheck, Lafreniere, sure. What Cooley? I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not pronouncing that now. So
it's Cooley. I wouldn't be able to guess that either.
Cooley.
Apparently, it's pronounced Cooley.
JT
That's
Miller,
definitely not the way you do it, like in his native country, like his ancestors. But that's how he does it. So whatever.
Yeah, he lets the Americans just take over and just butcher his name there. Cooley, Miller, Zibanejad. Sure, that's a decent top 6, but then you got Perreault, a young guy. Maybe he moves up in the lineup with some veteran help, but Parsonen and Brodzinski, and then Edstrom, Carrick, and Radish. I just don't like it. And then the defense, Gavrikov, Fox. On paper that should be a great pairing. Then you got Susie Borgen and Vakanainen and Braden Snyder there.
Nice.
It comes down. Yes, thank you. It comes down to Shesterkin there in net, but like this team to me should be down there with the Islanders again. Like I don't get the 95.5. I don't get the minus 200 to make the playoffs. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they were minus 150 at the highest, but I feel like it's more of a coin flip than minus 200.
Yeah, no arguments here. Yeah, you're looking at the roster. It's looking pretty bleak. JT Miller, he's played his best hockey by now. I know he was really good there. He was like the best player when he arrived from Vancouver the last third of the season, but he's not going to carry this team. You're going to need some major improvements from the likes of Lafreniere. We've been waiting for that for a while. Like we're pretty sure we know what he is right now. Just like a B grade guy, a legitimate top 6er, but certainly not a top liner in the on a cup winning team. That's for certain. Yeah, Gabriel Perreault, he's got some pedigree. Other than that, like bunch of mid stuff here. Zibanejad, another guy who's clearly on the back 9, if not the back 3 holes of his career. He's maybe there's just 1 year sample size. I just know that he disappointed relative to his usual production in 2025, 24, whatever. But yeah, he's not getting any younger. How old is he? Like 34 now? 35?
Who?
Zibanejad.
Zibanejad is 32. Yeah, this whole roster
32?
is pretty old.
He seems like he's been around forever.
Yeah, he's 32. Yeah.
All right. Maybe he still has some gas left in the tank, but still, Panarin, he hasn't been on a heart level like he was 2-3 years ago.
It's a contract year for him though, so maybe he has some dollar signs in his eyes. That could be a possibility. Big free agent class next season, as long as the guys don't sign. So Panarin could be due for a payday. He's 33 years old. If the Rangers aren't going anywhere, he might go try to chase a cup.
For sure, he's going to be paramount for them to get their power play going again. Him and Adam Fox need major bounce back seasons to help this team make the playoffs, which I don't see happening.
No. Would you go as far as placing a small, maybe even a tiny wager on Rangers' worst record at 200-1?
200-1.
If Shesterkin gets hurt, you got Quick, and then nobody else. Like a bunch of old guys. But the Blackhawks still exist.
They still have Johnny Quick in that. Is he still there?
He's still there. He's a solid backup. He can't start more than once a week, though. He's like a beer league goalie. He gets one game a week.
It's 200-1. I'm not going to dissuade anyone from that, but for me, it's just they have too high of a floor, and it is a shitty Metro division, so they should have one of the easiest strengths of schedules to play. But yeah, 200-1. That's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not for me.
No. Okay, let's get to our best bets here for the Rangers. I have missed playoffs at plus 160 for 3 units. Are you taking that same bet?
Fuck. I don't want to have the same bet all the
No,
time.
it's fun because like there's going to be so many teams here where we have the same bet, but then we have different bets for enough teams. I feel like, and then we can track our consensus plays that people can fade.
I mean, that is a better bet than the under 95.5. So whatever. I'll mirror yours again.
3 units.
Yep.
All right, that's the best bets there for the Rangers. And before we get to the Red Wings, another ad break here. We are brought to you by Circa Million and Circa Survivor. The world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas, is hosting the world's biggest pro football contest, Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo, with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true DGen if you're not competing in the Circa football contests. Come hang out with SGPN this weekend. That's if you're there, go ahead. 21st to 23rd, but that's closing on Saturday. You can always get 15% off this day at Circa with promo code SGP15. The contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And of course, we got Underdog. Underdog's Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog is also a great place to play Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. We've also got the NHL Best Puck going on. Make sure you check that out. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with code HGP. All right. Next up, and the final team for this show is going to be the Detroit Red Wings. Last season, very similar record to the Rangers, 39, 35, and 8 for 86 points. Negative 21 goal differential. Decent home team, 22, 16, and 3. On the road, 17, 19, and 5. But what is the Iser plan here? Like what is happening? Because they have made like no progress whatsoever in the past few years.
Like the Rangers, this is a team that we've been fading since the origins of this podcast. And they for a lot of the same reasons, because this is a team that continually underperforms 5-on-5. They've been relying on their power play and some fluke shooting percentage bullshit, and some, I don't know, I wouldn't say they're relying on the goaltending, but I think the goalies overall have outperformed their talent level because they've had some shit in net, likes of Mrazek and Lyon and whoever else.
Cam Talbot last year. Yeah, Cam Talbot was a starter.
Yeah, and the Iser plan, we've been talking shit about that for a long time. It's just, to be fair, they haven't had, like, for however bad they've been, they haven't had like a top 5 pick throughout the whole thing. So they've never been able to get that legit star player. And they haven't been able to find that star player down the lineup. I mean, Dylan Larkin and Mort Seider probably been the best draft picks. Maybe Lucas Raymond behind them. And yeah, those guys have taken a little step back. I wouldn't say they've been disappointments. Certainly Mort Seider. What, did he win the Calder that year? Or he was
I'm pretty sure he won the Calder.
Yeah. And he's still a very good defenseman, but yeah, the Wiser plan, just like dumb shit, like trading. Who's the defenseman that went to the Oilers through the Sharks?
Oh, Jake Wallman.
Jake Wallman,
yeah. Trading a pick to get rid of him.
Yeah, and the Sharks
what are you doing?
Flipped him for a pick, and he was one of the better players for the Oilers in the playoffs. So yeah, dumb shit like that has held them back. Dumb shit like signing washed free agents or just guys that just keep you afloat and prevent you from getting those top 5 picks.
Yeah.
Like if you just be bad for a couple more years, they could have got like somebody really, really good. Yeah, they do have a pretty good prospect pool. Regardless, they do have some guys coming up, but as of now, I think they tried to win too soon was the idea, and you can't do that without some bona fide studs, and they don't have those bona fide studs. They have partial studs, I guess.
Yeah.
But nobody that'll carry him across the line. So there's no need adding all these free agents who are just going to wear you down and annoy the owner, spending money on guys who don't contribute. So yeah, that's the Weiser plan in a 1 minute nutshell. But it's no good. It's no good, and
Exactly.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see him fired pretty soon. I mean, it's hard to fire a legend like Yzerman in the city of Detroit, but still, like, if he continues doing this shit for another few years, then he's out.
I think I saw they're retiring. They're doing something for him. Like they're doing something for Yzerman this season, or maybe I think, don't know if it's a retirement because they already retired his number. Maybe it's like a team Hall of Fame or something. So you can't fire him like during the season when you're doing that. But yeah, they've just been stuck in neutral. Lucas Raymond, good pick.
Before we get off that, almost total digression. Sorry to interrupt, but did you know that the Kraken have the number 32 retired? Because they sold.
Because they're the 32 team?
Yes. And because they sold 32,000 season tickets or whatever the first year.
God, why does every expansion team make themselves so hateable like immediately? Like everyone loved the Golden Knights for that first year. Now everyone hates them. Why do you retire 32?
I also learned that the Panthers have the number 37 retired for the owner. I don't know if he was born in 37 or something, but those are the two of the dumbest jersey retirements I know of.
Those are bad. Like that's a whole different kind of like at least take a stand and be like retire 9 for Gordie Howe. Like retire something that isn't retired like a legend. Like what did Marshawn Lynch wear? I'm surprised they didn't fucking retire his number for the fucking Kraken. Like I hate that so much. I'm God. All right. But yeah, Lucas Raymond last year, 80 points to lead the team. DeBrincat was a solid ad for them. Maybe a little bit too early, but he's 27 now, 70 points last year. Same thing for Dylan Larkin, 70 points. Larkin's like a bottom tier 1C, a great 2C on if there's a better guy above him. But when you have Patrick Kane, still pretty good, 59 points, but he's getting up there. Marco Casper had a decent year, 37 points. He's only 20 years old, so he's coming up there. But yeah, you got Comfort, you got Kopp, you got there's all these guys that should not be there, like 86, 91, 80, 74 points in the past 4 years. You're not making the playoffs, and you're not getting a good pick. So they're just completely stuck in neutral, the Red Wings are. And until they, somehow land a free agent or, decide to make a big trade, I don't even know if they can make a big trade and change it very quickly because they're just stuck. They've missed the playoffs now for, 9 straight years since 2016. So it's a pretty big drop.
They set a record too for how many years they made the playoffs, at least in the post top 6 era, original 6 era.
They were a team that was always in the playoffs. Whether or not what are they going to do once they make the playoffs is what it was. Now they are just not making it. Red Wings last year not good. The off season for the Red Wings I should have pulled up earlier. But I'm pretty sure I looked it up before. There's they didn't do anything. I guess they traded
That's
for.
Good.
They traded for
the Asher plan.
They traded for John Gibson. They gave up Peter Mrazek, lost Alex Lyon as a backup, but having Gibson as a starter, I think will be good for them. Along with Cam Talbot as a backup, that's a solid tandem. They're both way past their primes. Lost Tarasenko, Craig Smith, Tyler Mott, Jeff Petrie, Mrazek and Lyon. Brought in John Gibson, Mason Appleton, James Van Riemsdyk, Jacob Bernard-Docker, and Ian Mitchell there. So yeah, they didn't overpay for a free agent. So that's a win for Steve Yzerman nowadays.
Absolutely. Yeah, towards the end of a lose reign, that was the same kind of thing. If it's just no action is good action. Yeah, there's not much to say there. John Gibson is interesting. Certainly he is wasn't performing at the same level as he has in the past when they were competitive teams. He was just collecting checks more or less in the past few years, living in a nice southern climate. Now he has to go face some pressure. The Red Wings fans, however many show up these days, they're still a better, more vocal crowd than what you'll see in Anaheim. But yeah, it's he's got the more pedigree than the other guys they've been playing in goal lately, but they've been doing the job just fine. So I'm not sure if that really moves the needle anyway. Yeah, their 5-5 numbers are actually better than usual last year, but a lot of that has to do with the dead cat bounce when Todd McClellan took over. We didn't mention that Derek Lalonde being fired in December or something like that.
Their expected goals for percentage was still the 9th worst in the league. So like they weren't great 5-on-5. But I was going to mention under McClellan they went 26, 18, and 4. So a lot better than Uncle Fester there behind the bench.
Uncle Fester, yeah. I was looking at it. He looks like a fucking vampire.
Yeah. All right.
All right. That is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Evolving Hockey actually has been 7th worst 5-on-5. So I don't know what the fuck I was looking at. I thought they're better than that. All right. So no, they're still the Rangers. They're still the Rangers.
Yeah, so for this upcoming season here, we got 84.5 points to make the playoffs is plus 260, 40-1 to win the division, 90-1 to win the Stanley Cup here. You got to fade them. You have to fade them. I just don't see any other way to play the Red Wings here.
We got a shout out from somebody who's got to be local. Drain Gang 604. 604 is the area code.
The area code?
Fraser Valley, Vancouver area. So shout out to Drain Gang. I'm not sure who that is exactly, but yeah, cheers for watching, bud.
Also, I mean, I've talked a lot of shit about Catfish now, but just a great chat from him here earlier. The different bets will determine who wins in the end. I mean, just like, how do you come up with this stuff, Catfish? Just, I mean, I don't know why I didn't think about that. Why the bets that are different will be determined who wins. But thank God we have you, Catfish. I love you. I apologize.
Catfish for editor.
But yeah, I don't know if there's a lot to say here about the Red Wings. Atlantic Division is still very tough. Leafs, Lightning, Panthers, all going to be top 3, top 4. Sens, Canadians are above them. I would be interested in like a Bruins Red Wings head-to-head bet almost. Like I could see the Bruins easily passing them if the Red Wings have a bad year, but 86 points last year, 84.5 is the total now. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only bet that I made between these 3 teams, and that's the under 84.5 points. So you can still get that plus money. Yeah, like I said, they're just they don't have a lot of direction. I don't expect John Gibson to become prime John Gibson again and save this team. And the power play certainly can't sustain what it's been doing for so long. And we'd mentioned the 5-on-5 numbers. They're not any better for 5-on-5. The team's getting older. I don't expect these the young guys to take a massive step forward this year. And yeah, I think they're just going to be another pedestrian team in a very strong division. Top to bottom, I think only the Sabres are worse. They're the only team around their point total, certainly. And the other teams I expect to take a big step forward, other than, the Panthers, but they're 106.5 points. And the Leafs, who knows with them, with Marner and the moves they made. But we'll get there when we get there. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, the under 84.5 points. I like that. I bet a lot.
Yeah. That's still even money here at DraftKings. And that's also my best bet. I'm taking that for 3 units. I put 5 units down for you since you said you actually bet it. But let me know if there's any. Yeah. Okay. So just fading all 3 of these teams. Our best bets under point total for the Islanders.
You have any overs so far? It's like,
go scroll up. Team chat? You took Brunette, Jack Adams.
Under. Worst
Bruins.
Record. Under. Oh,
Bruins.
Worst
over, record. Taka Jack Adams for Flyers. Under. Ducks. We like the Ducks for quacking. We're quacking this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Isles under, Rangers missed playoffs. Red Wings under.
Yeah,
under. Wow. We're gonna have some strong overs. So the top teams. That's how chalky we are. We're just to fade the bad teams and back the good teams.
Yeah, but so far,
Dilly would tell us that, right? Just
pick winners and bet against losers. Like exactly. That's what you gotta do. It's the hater gambling podcast so far. We're just hating on most of these teams here. We should be back next week, Wednesday, Friday. Once again, the following week, we may be taking off due to a vacation for yours truly, but we will we'll let you know next week on that. Joel, anything here else on these 3 teams? Any other hockey bets you've placed or some weekend action? I'm assuming we're fading Tommy Flaccidwood.
Most likely. We'll see both. we'll wait till Sunday because he doesn't really fade on Saturday so much as Sundays, like especially like the back nine kind of thing. So we'll monitor that. I don't have any bets on that tournament yet. We'll see what happens there. But the U.S. Open, more importantly, starts really quickly.
Huh?
And we already made our bets pretty clear there. We've been betting Swiatek and Jannik Sinner around Wimbledon. They're both received fairly good draws, especially Swiatek. And she's got a pretty good draw. We lose a CFL bet or whatever. And Sinner, he had to retire from the Cincinnati final with some kind of illness. Hopefully it's not COVID, but he was practicing today or yesterday, so he's looking pretty good anyway. And so Sinner and Swiatek are the people. We have Samira Andreeva too, back when she was playing well at 20-1. I'm not sure. I don't know what the odds are now, but she's not been playing great these days. So I would stay away from that, especially because she's in the tougher half of the draw, even though if she's not in Swiatek's half. So let's go Iga. Let's go Sinner. It's like business as usual in tennis for me these days. So that's what we're doing there. And I got to give out one more CFL bet because we got to get back on the winning track. This one's not dead, but it's okay. Dead. The Saskatchewan Roughriders -1 at the Calgary Stampeders tomorrow. It's probably the two best teams in the West. They are by the record anyway. And we're still we're back in the Roughriders all the way to the Grey Cup. Hopefully they treat us better there than did the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the fucking Jonas Brothers.
Love me a good rough ride on the weekend. Nothing better than that.
Yeah, especially in Saskatchewan.
All right, make sure you guys are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on YouTube. Like the videos, comment on there. Let us know. Are we wrong about these teams? Do you guys have positive outlooks? Let us know in the comments there. Also, leave us a 5-star rating and review so Joel stops yelling at me. On an Apple Podcast, you can go to sg.pn/hockey or just search Hockey Gambling Podcast on Apple Podcast or wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to be a guest on the show in the upcoming for one of these teams, hit us up on Twitter at HockeySGPN. Hit us up in the Discord, sg.pn/Discord. I'm Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
And I'm Joel Myron. You'll find me jacking off to submariners saying alarm, alarm as they dive to avoid the depth charges. And also, I forgot to mention Matthew Tkachuk experienced surgery as we expected, but he could be out till January, I'm hearing from David Pagnotta. So we did bet on honor to 6.5 points.